My dear friends, and my dear masters, and my dear gods of the whole world, today we are going to learn about the great principles of the Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement. 18 guiding principles for the masters of the Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement. My dear friends, the great Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement of India was founded in the year 1990 in a district town of Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh, South India. That was the first time the Kurnool Spiritual Society was born. Since then, hundreds of spiritual societies have been established throughout the length and breadth of India. Tens of thousands of masters have been created in this movement. Further this movement in the whole length and breadth of India. Now, what are the guidelines for all the masters of the Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement? What do we have to do to become a master in this great movement? What are the cardinal features? What are the essential ingredients? What are the basic principles to be called as a pyramid master? So, the world has to understand these 18 principles. Every human being needs to practice these 18 principles to become a master. My dear friends, over a couple of decades, slowly these 18 principles evolved in my own mind. One after the other, the essential good points, the essential spiritual points have been collected by me, and slowly they took shape, and finally these 18 guiding principles have been formed. My dear friends, the first principle is to do regularly meditation in the right way, that is Anapanasati, and to teach everyone this same right way of meditation. This is the first principle for pyramid masters. To regularly meditate and to teach meditation regularly. We have to energize ourselves that we do in meditation. And we have to help our co-souls on this earth by way of teaching meditation. Both of these things, doing meditation and teaching meditation, are concurrent things. As we learn, we should teach. The more we teach, the more we learn. So this is the first great principle. Meditation forms the basis of spirituality. Meditation is the foundation of spirituality. More the foundation is strong, the more the superstructure. So my dear friends, the first great principle, let me repeat again, is to regularly meditate the right way, that is Anapanasati, and to teach everyone this same right way of meditation. People are stuck up with wrong ways of so-called meditation. There are no alternate routes of meditation, after which you can choose one according to your taste and liking. No. Meditation is a science, and there is only one way in science. And in the science of meditation, Anapanasati is the only way. You can't chant any mantra. You can't entertain any form in your mind. No chanting, no visualizing, just plain and simple watching the breath, which Gautama Buddha called it as Anapanasati. Ana means inhalation, apana means exhalation, sati means to be with. So the first principle for a pyramid master is to do lot of meditation personally and to do lot of teaching meditation. That is the first principle. We go on to the second principle, my dear friends. The second principle is to write spiritual books and to make everyone read the same right books. It's not so very easy to distinguish between right spiritual book and wrong spiritual books. The world is full of wrong spiritual books. And there are right spiritual books too. In my decades of spiritual research, I've been able to collect so many righteous spiritual books. Examples of some great masters who have written beautiful books, spiritual books, right spiritual books. Osho, Lobsang Rampa, Carlos Castaneda, Deepak Chopra, Richard Bach, Joan Roberts, Shirley MacLaine, Linda Goodman, Barbara Ann Brennan, Barbara Marciniak, Khalil Gibran. There are so many great masters. We have to read all these books. I personally must have read more than 50,000 books, right spiritual books. And we have to encourage every person to read the same right books. I used to give so many books to so many people. I do that all the time. Once I buy a book and read it, now it is another man's property. It's not my property whatsoever. Half of the money I used to earn used to go into buying books. Only half of the money I used to give to my wife. 50% of my salary would go for books. That's how I have come to read thousands of books over the past 3 decades. The first principle, my dear friends, is to do meditation, to teach meditation. The second principle, my dear friends, is to read books and to make people read books. To be a full-fledged pyramid master, we have to understand all the 18 principles of the 18 guiding principles of the Pyramid Spiritual Society movement and fulfill all those 18 points. That's a pyramid master. The third point, my dear friend, the third principle is to keep exchanging meditational experiences and spiritual wisdom with each and every one. When we do meditation, we have so many experiences. Out-of-body experiences, past life experiences, energy movements, so many things. Third eye visions, clairaudience, whatever the experiences, we have to share with co-meditators. We have to discuss them with our senior meditators. We have to relate them to our junior meditators. We have to express our meditation experiences and share with each and every other meditator. And non-meditators too. When we tell about our own experiences to non-meditators, they are that much more enthused to start meditation themselves. We cannot keep our experiences to our own selves. That would be a blasphemy. Our experiences for ourselves are not for our own selves, they are for everybody. The money that I earn is for the whole society. The wisdom I gain is for the whole of humanity. So, my dear friends, We have to share our experiences and our knowledge and our wisdom with each and every person. Some people may laugh at our experiences, so what? Our duty ends when we express ourselves fully, with all our emotional strength. What others think of us is none of our concern. After 100 people whom we talk to, 90 persons may reject us, so what? If we don't speak out, those 10% would miss, and they will miss their enlightenment. So, my dear friends, the third great point in the 18 principle structure for the masters of Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement is to keep on exchanging meditation experiences and spiritual wisdom with each and every one. The fourth point, my dear friends, is to speak frugally. Don't speak over much. Don't speak unnecessarily. Spend a lot of time in mauna, that is silence. Silence is the fourth point, my dear friends. We have to earmark certain days in a week, certain hours in a day for silence. Why should we keep on blabbering? For example, in Jainism, so much importance is given to silence, mauna. Meditation is dhyana. Silence is called as mauna. Mauna is a great thing. We don't have to open our mouths every now and then. We can keep our mouth shut, which is called a silence of the mouth. If you practice silence, you will understand. The great master Gandhiji used to be silent for one day every week. You don't have to speak. The father of the nation, leading a great independence movement, he was in silence one day per week. Why are we not following that? If you follow that, you will understand how great you are. In words, we tend to be foolish. In silence, we understand our own greatness and everybody else's greatness. In silence, we realize our own foolishness and everybody else's foolishness too. We realize many things in silence, my dear friends. One day per week must be earmarked. For example, one whole year, in the year 1996, I was silent. I didn't speak. I carried on my work. Anything has to be conveyed, I would write on a paper and give it to others. But I will not open my mouth. For one full year, my dear friends, I didn't speak. Then you will understand the power of silence, the beauty of silence. The first point, my dear friends, is meditation. The second point, my dear friends, is reading books. The third point is sharing experiences. The fourth point is maintaining silence. My dear friends, now we go on to the fifth point. The fifth point is, my dear friends, using the full moon nights. Every month, the full moon nights are most precious. We have to harvest the energy, cosmic energy, especially in those nights. Full moon night, one day preceding the full moon night, and one day after the full moon night. These are the 3 days. You should not sleep in those nights. You should do a lot of meditation. So, my dear friends, the fifth point is to utilize the full moon energies for meditation. You can go to a forest, or to a mountain top, a hilltop, go into nature, spend with the nature, spend with the full moon energy. 3 nights, you will come back as a changed person forever. Spend 3 full moon nights in open nature doing meditation. The whole night, 3 nights. For every month, and you will see the mighty changes in you. A pyramid master, my dear friends, must harvest full moon energy. The 6th point, my dear friends, is to utilize pyramid power for meditation. The very name of our movement, our society's movement, is called the Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement, meaning we use the pyramid power to spiritualize, to energize ourselves more and more. Meditation is best done inside a pyramid or beneath a pyramid. Or you can have a pyramid cap on your head. The Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement in Andhra Pradesh and elsewhere has built so many pyramids where hundreds of people can sit inside the pyramids and do meditation. So, the 6th point, my dear friends, is to utilize pyramid power for meditation. Every village should have its own pyramid. Every town should have several pyramids. Pyramids are built according to the Great Pyramid in Giza. The angles are same. The orientation, north-south is same. And pyramids can be made of any material. And preferably crystals should be placed in the pyramid. So, my dear friends, meditation is thrice more powerful inside a pyramid. So, the 6th point in our 18-point system, 18-point structure, is pyramid power. Let me recap again, my dear friends. The first point is meditation, Anapanasati meditation. Doing meditation and teaching meditation. The second point is reading right spiritual books and making every person read the same right books. It's our duty, it's our responsibility to teach everybody whatever we know. The third point is to exchange one's meditational experiences and spiritual wisdom with each and every person to the best of our ability. The fourth point, my dear friends, is to maintain silence. Certain times, certain days must be earmarked for silence. Come what may, you should not open your mouth. Take a pen, scribble something and give it to others. The next point is utilizing the full moon energy. Abundant energy is there on the full moon nights. We can't let it go untapped, unused, unharvested. And the 6th point in our 18-point system, 18-point structure, is pyramid meditation, pyramid power. The 20th century is the century of discovery of the pyramid power, rediscovery of the pyramid power. And the 21st century is going to be the pyramid century. Throughout the earth, everywhere you will find pyramids and pyramids and pyramids and pyramids. The 21st century is going to be the pyramid century, my dear friends. So, we go on to the other points. The next point, my dear friends, is to forget all types of medicines and to take recourse only to self-healing. All medicines are diversions away from self-knowledge. They are diversions into the world, away from the world of spirituality. No doctors and no medicines, my dear friend, that's the another very important feature of all pyramid masters. My dear friends, now we go to the 8th point in our 18-point formula, 18-point system. The 8th point is vegetarianism. Absolutely no animal eating, no flesh food, only plant food, my dear friends. In fact, this is the most important point in the whole 18-point system of the pyramid spiritual socialist movement. Everybody has to become a vegetarian. The whole modern science is slowly recognizing its fault in earlier recommending meat diet to humans, in the mistaken notion of supplying some kind of protein, but which is based upon absolutely stupid karma. You can't kill an animal and eat the proteins. Get the proteins or whatever you want from the plants. The modern science is slowly recognizing the effect of animal food in human system. My dear friends, the cardinal principle of any spiritual movement is vegetarianism. You can't be a non-vegetarian and be a Christian. Impossible, ruled out prima facie. You can't be a non-vegetarian and be a Muslim. Impossible, prima facie. You can't be a non-vegetarian and a Hindu. Impossible. Religion is love. Religion is kindness to co-beings. Animals are not meant for food for humans. No. Human being is also a part of the animal kingdom, and the whole animal kingdom is to subsist on plant kingdom. My dear friends, much has been written. All such books have to be read, and the duty of a pyramid master is to make everybody else vegetarian. So, my dear friends, remember the 8th point, which is called a vegetarianism, is the most important point in the pyramid spiritual society's movement. We go on to the 9th point, my dear friends. And the 9th point is eat moderately. Don't overeat. Eat according to need. Don't eat according to your greed. Eat according to your need. If you are hungry, now you eat. If you are not hungry, you cannot eat. Wait until the hunger comes back into your system. Then eat according to your hunger. Don't overeat. Overeating is the source of all the problems of the human physical body. And from time to time fast. Mahatma Gandhi ji used to fast one day every week. Every factory needs shutdown from time to time. What about this factory called the physical body? Don't keep on eating from sunrise to sleep time. No. Eat moderately, my dear friends. It's very important. Eat according to your taste, certainly, but never eat according to your greed. Don't overeat. Eat highest quality food, but least quantity. Then we go on to the 10th point, my dear friends, and my dear masters, and my dear gods of the whole world. I have seen many places, I have seen many ashrams, many spiritual communities where special clothes are worn, or special marks are there on the forehead or something like that, to distinguish from other human beings, as if these people are very sacred and pious. This is simply unspiritual. You cannot indulge in any type of special spiritual clothing. Ordinary attire should be adhered to. You should be indistinguishable from others in the matter of clothing. This stress on clothing, oh, he is a Swamiji, oh, he is a big, I don't know what. Nobody should be able to distinguish you seeing your clothes. There should be not any body marks on your forehead or somewhere else. Spirituality is a matter of one's own inner achievement. There is nothing to show off to anybody. So, my dear friends, then the next point is, you must impart meditational training to all children right from their early childhood. Catch them young, go to schools, teach the children how to sit in meditation. Sit along with them and ask for their experiences and answer their questions. Teach meditation essentially to children. Take care of the child, and you have taken care of the whole humanity. The most formative stage is the childhood stage. So, the 11th point, my dear friends, is to start imparting meditational training to all children right from their early childhood. The 12th point, my dear friends, you must not consider yourself a disciple of anybody else. We are all here to become masters, and nobody is here to become disciple of some other person. We learn from each and every person in general, and we are not disciples of any person in particular. That cannot be. I don't have any disciples. I am against disciples. I am for masters. Everybody who joins the Pyramid Spiritual Society movement, they are masters right from the first day. So, the 12th point, my dear friends, is to always promote the concept of becoming masters and never becoming disciples. So, neither can you be a disciple of somebody else, nor can you consider somebody else as your disciple. My dear friends, you attend a college. The lecturers there, the professors there, they don't consider you as your disciple. There is no disciple there. There is only teaching and learning. You are not a disciple of anybody else. So this kind of thinking, to be a master right from day one, that is the essential feature of this Pyramid Spiritual Society movement. Then, my dear friends, the 13th point is again very important. The 13th point says, my dear friends, you cannot take money for teaching meditation. You do some other job, earn money. You sell vegetables, you do farming, you sell your music, you teach English, you teach Italian, whatever you do. You can earn money otherwise, but never through teaching meditation. Meaning, you cannot ask for money while you are teaching meditation. Teaching meditation is absolutely free. This is the very important feature of the Pyramid Spiritual Society movement. The Pyramid Masters go from town to town, village to village, like a Buddha. You may give food to them, but you may not give money to them. Every Pyramid Master has to work for himself or herself, but teaching meditation is primarily free of any money implications. The 14th point, my dear friends, is not to indulge in the worship of idols, of so-called gods or living masters. No idol worship. It is simply foolish. Idol worship is simply foolish. Neither is worship of living masters allowed. We have to emulate living masters. We should not worship living masters. And there's nothing like praying to a idol. The 15th point, my dear friends, is again very, 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 very important. Some of the important points I have told you, my dear friends. The 8th point is vegetarianism. The 13th point, to reject all money exchanges in meditation training programs. And again the 15th point, my dear friends, is to learn to solve all individual problems using one's own spiritual wisdom and meditational strength. This is a very, very important thing. We all have our personal problems. Our personal problems have to be solved by our own meditational strength. We have some differences at home with our family members. If you do meditation, they'll get solved. Some other problems, financial problems, you do meditation, you will contact the right people. You don't do meditation at home and go into the market, you contact the wrong people. If you do meditation at home and go to your market, you will attract the right people who will solve your problems. So, to learn to solve all individual problems using own spiritual wisdom and meditational strength. The next point, my dear friends, is to lead normal family lives, normal sexual lives. Sexuality is very, very important for human happiness, human survival, human emotions. So, looking down upon so-called sexuality, even though you are highly sexual inside, that is the hallmark of what is called a religion. Spirituality is absolutely free from all religious mess, especially in terms of sexuality, sexual expression. So, my dear friends, we have to lead normal family lives. And finally, pyramid meditation centers and spiritual societies have to be established in all villages and towns. That is the work of a master. And the 18th point is, we have to write our experiences and publish them. I have written my experiences and my wisdom and I have published. So, every pyramid master has to do that. That is the contribution to the world at large. So, my dear friends, this is the 18-point formula devised by us, suggested by us. It has come out of the stupendous research over the past few decades. This is the sum and total of all spiritual masters' teaching throughout the eternity. Let me repeat again, finally. First point is to do meditation. Second point is to read books. The third point is to exchange experiences, meditational experiences. The fourth point is maintaining silence. The fifth point is using the full moon energy. The sixth point is using the pyramid power. The seventh point is vegetarianism. The eighth point is moderate eating. The ninth point is no special spiritual clothing, etc. The 10th point is meditation training to all children right from childhood. The next point is the concept of all becoming masters and nobody is to consider himself a disciple. The next is to reject all money exchanges in meditation training programs. And next is not to indulge in any worship of any idols or living masters. And learn to solve all your individual problems using own spiritual wisdom and meditation strength. No doctors and no medicines. Lead normal family lives, sexual lives. Establish meditation centers, spiritual societies everywhere, all villages and towns. and write down your experiences and publish books in magazines, articles in magazines. Thank you very much, my dear friends, my dear masters, and my dear gods of the whole world. Thank you, thank you, thank you.